Okay, now officially recorded. So all that other stuff that I mentioned can't hold it against me because it's no longer recorded. Now going forward, it is recorded. So share the screen here. Here we go. Huddle. All right. We'll just let this play out. We talk about caps, communication, appearance, pre, post, and dead. It's a little fast, but hopefully now we can be able to see it here. This is a separate play, and I'll come back to both of them. All right. I hadn't seen, Brett, are you on? Is Thaddeus? I know Thaddeus is. Do we have anybody else on? I haven't had a chance to look to see who's young guns are on.
Robert's here.
Hey, Robert, thanks, man. Okay, so there's Brett right there. All right, so going back to this, Brett, Thaddeus, David, and Yosa, you're on. Guys, this is a good spot for a back judge to be in. He's in the middle of the field. He's moving away from his key. He's creating some distance. He stops on the goal line. But I'd like to see a little bit better and a little more activity from the deep wing. But, you know, he's not officially beat, but we would like to see him more back here. We'd like to see it a little bit more this direction. Give yourself a little bit of better angle to be able to see if there's an arm that would be grabbing an arm, holding a jersey, going through the back. That way you've got a better angle if you're out here. But if I'm coming back through and I'm looking at this, the other side of this, I think this is the incomplete one. To make this close to perfect, if the back judge could just slow down and see that catch, make sure it's a catch, that would just finalize and solidify that this was a great mechanic. Here you can see that this deep wing on this particular side needs to get into his break a little bit better. He needs to recognize that he's being pushed. Because he's now behind the play. But he's getting there. He's hustling. That's what we want to see. We want to see the hustle. And I like how he hustled. And here's the back judge already with about a 7-8 yard cushion on that point right there. That's good. We want to see that cushion, and he's actually floating away from the play to give himself a better cone. And by the time the guy gets to the goal line, he's already there. And I love how he waited for his hustling deep wing to get to the goal line. Can't necessarily see it in that angle, but the deep wing recognized that he was in trouble, but the back judge made it very pretty by him waiting. Boom. Good job, guys. All right. Any comments from anybody there?
Hey, yeah, this is Thaddeus. Yeah, you know, I don't know what else was going on in the game, but I mean, that was basically a 55-yard touchdown pass. the deep wing. I mean, he might have been peeking at something else, but with 55-yarder, he kind of should have been able to, have that better cushion. But again, I don't know what's going on in the game. So, but that's just my little side note.
Agreed. When he tried to make up for it with his hustle, he just didn't give up on the play. Okay, so let's see here. Ron, I'm going to open this up to you. No, actually, no, I'm not. I'm going to save you again.
No, I'll go if you want me to go.
No, just bear with me. I want to get to this part that we need out of the game. So, thank you, David Loretto, for sending this play in. Hold on, let me share it. Are you seeing it? Am I sharing it? Yeah, I think I am. Okay, no annotations. What I'm gonna set second down, 2nd and 8, tight formation. Let me get to this one. 7-man crew. Guy on the line. It's play 7. So this is the L and F, S, and H. Okay, all right. Everybody looks to be in the right position so far. Got 11, so that's good. Couple things on this play, right? We got blindside block. We got a defender that doesn't see this guy coming. He's outside the 10 and 2. We have a lowering of the head. You can see it right there. He's lowering his head, so now he's using the top of his helmet. And then at the other part of this is you can see that you can see him now start to elevate himself. Might be due to contact, but don't know. But those are your indicators. We're also targeting. We continue on with this play. I mean, this is a deep wings. This is why you're out there. This is deep wing all day. You don't have anything else to do, but watch what that guy's doing because he's starting to rear up. The other part of this play, which we can all attest to, is, oh crap, what just happened? Is he out of bounds right here? I can't tell. Coach is in the way. But he's falling. Ball's out by maybe the 36. He's in good position. He's where we want to be from a positioning standpoint. Still in. Ball's fumbled forward. And we got spot at the 30. When honestly, we should be back here. So that's a 6-yard give. So we just got to stay patient. We got to understand what's going on. Deep wings, you got to help us on that. What else, guys? Anybody else on that?
Eric, why is the back judge moving in?
Yeah, the ball came. Yeah, what's that? Maybe he's trying to kill the play.
I assume.
Yeah, but he's moving.
What I noticed.
Yeah, but he's moving
play,
way too much.
This gives the green
And
ankle.
one thing I noticed on the play, the ball came out at the 34, I believe. Can you play it again, Eric?
I don't see a beanbag thrown on her.
No, there's not a beanbag either.
Exactly. That.
And I'm coming in to help clean up in case there was any other action going on. I'm coming in to help clean up.
Y'all didn't know that was David Laredo there. So Brett, this will tell you what he's doing. Just give us a second on this one. I like how the umpire dropped his whistle. Comments, Brett?
On him coming in,
Yeah.
I don't mind that, but the side judge needs to kill the clock also.
Agreed. Agreed.
Side judge should have been further downfield too.
Yeah.
He kind of gave up on the play because if that kid hadn't fumbled the ball or somebody picked it up and started running and it was a live ball, he'd have been beat to the goal line.
Yeah, second down, so anyone can pick it up, right?
Yep.
We got to fumble forward. So we're going back.
And which actual game is that?
Divine and
Randolph.
Randolph.
Just to clarify, if we had had a fumble forward out of bounds, we would have come back to the spot of the
That's
fumble.
correct.
But since it was recovered in advance by the offensive team, they get it where they recovered it. But it's just hard to tell if he has possession of the ball there with a foot out of bounds, or if he fumbles it free and clear, and does he touch it when he's out of bounds after the fumble. There's a lot. This is a dynamic play to have happen. I think this view right here shows how the deep wing is beat and lost his cushion on this play.
Yeah.
This view does show that.
Yeah, and the foot, I can't tell with the foot where it is placed. And this is the kind of situation you want to see your deep wing turned and being in your back pedal to help rule if he's out of bounds. It's tough to look over your right shoulder and see if he's out of bounds and you're still trying to move forwards. So
If you made me lay money on this, I'm going to say he stepped out of bounds, but we can't prove it.
Yeah, I don't think he was out. I don't think he was out of bounds. I was the covering official on the play.
Okay, you were the deep wing or you were the wing?
I was the wing.
Okay, and you had a clear view of the foot.
I did.
Okay, then we yield to you. So it is a fumble, and they get the advanced recovery, correct?
Get the advanced. By the way, if y'all didn't hear that, that was Ken Huffines that was talking there. Thanks, Clayton. Appreciate you stepping up and giving us a little feedback on that.
I'm here to learn, man. No problem. I'll take it off.
I agree with Eric. Your positioning, I'm really happy with where you were at and the way you officiated. You were in a spot that makes it easy for the board to defend.
Yeah.
You know, when you're where you're supposed to be, looking at what you're supposed to be looking at, it makes everybody's job all the much easier. So great job.
All right, so
Excuse me, Eric.
yeah,
Hey, I was just walking in, getting settled in at home when y'all going over the first video, can you explain more in detail what you mean by slowing down when the play is going 100 miles an hour, and as far as the back judge, pumping backwards?
Yeah, I can. So who was just asking the question? I didn't see it pop. I didn't see it pop up. Who asked?
It was Matt Castillo.
Hey, Matt. Thanks for asking. Nice job on that play. So what we would like to see, because of your development and where you're at the moment and the positioning that you put yourself in, if you can just throttle yourself down a step or two, confirm the catch, not so much on a long pass play and the guy's all by himself, you're going to know if he caught it or dropped it. But if he's diving, or if there's action on the ball, or we got a defender, if you can throttle yourself down and just slow your eyes down, you will really present yourself with a great view on film and clarity in your mind whether or not he caught it, potentially trapped it, defender coming in and maybe making a catch over the shoulder, whatever that is. If you can present yourself with the throttle down at point of catch, that's going to be awesome. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. But as far as throttling down, do you want me to be more closer to the play or have a better view of the play?
No, your position was fine.
Do you want me to?
Your view was fine.
Do I have to trail it a little bit? Is that what you're trying to do?
No.
No.
Stay where you need to be. Just slow down on your movement.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll kind of give an example from a line of scrimmage official. Even if I'm hauling, the play's gone, it's 20 yards gone downfield. I'm trying to get downfield as fast as I can. As that play starts threatening the sideline, I'm actually going to start slowing down almost to a complete stop, so I'm not moving as the play is going to the sideline, so I can make a good judgment on where it's at. Because if you're going 100 miles an hour to get there, you're losing focus of everything that's going on around it. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir. It sure does. Thank you.
All right. So another play sent by David. Same actor right here, number 8. Still play 24, so we're still in the first half. H and S are at the bottom of the screen. It's first down, 1st and 10, the B39. This is S's key. And that was a good game. David, since you're on right now, tell us what you went through. Tell us your thought process. Tell us how you saw the play. Tell us the communication afterwards.
What happened was I started with the number 8 right there on the other side, and when he wasn't doing nothing, not threatening, not doing it, I switched over to zone real quick, and I happened to see number 8 right here.
Key? Number 2 is your key, because this is number 8.
Right, 2. Number 2 I meant, yes. And he wasn't doing nothing but staying in and blocking, so I switched to zone real quick and came to the ball side, and I happened to see number 8 engaged. And I thought that he had a BSB, so I threw on that. Even though I was Ron's position, I threw on it because that's what I saw. And I continued to officiate till the play was over.
when you spoke to Ron, or did Ron have any comment or feedback?
Yeah, we both got together and I told him I had seen a BSB and we both agreed on it, but I don't know why he didn't throw on it.
Did you correct your flag after the fact?
Yeah, I think Joseph, our umpire, told me, hey, your flag is not in the right area. So we kind of, I didn't correct it myself because I went straight up to talk to the referee, and I should have picked the flag up and moved it. But I think Joseph might have taken care of that for me. But he gave me the flag. He mentioned something about it.
So you talked to Ron, and then you came. Did you do a preliminary signal? Do you remember a preliminary?
Yes, as I was running in, I think I did what I did was I said BSB block, BSB blindside block. I believe I did it on the radio, I believe.
Did you give a preliminary prior to getting to your referee? With your hands. Did you give a hand motion blindside block?
No, I don't think I gave a hand motion blindside block.
Okay, that's what we want to see. We want to see a preliminary signal after your conference. And then you're coming up and you can communicate to both your umpire and your referee. And your umpire did a really nice job based on what you just said of saying, hey, I don't think your flag's right. Fix your flag. So that was good. I mean, it sounds like it was pretty good communication. So now we just got to get the whole group together and we got to stop number 8. I mean, really, if we had a targeting on play 7, even probably not in this game. He's probably already removed himself from this game based on play 7. So the other side of this is, how did you handle it communicating with number 8, Clayton and Ron? Did you talk to the coach about number 8? Or how did that go down with your coaches when you spoke about it?
I don't think we spoke to the coach at all on number 8, Eric.
Yeah, I don't think it was any communication, Eric, as far as no communication.
As far as letting the coach know, anyway.
I mean, Clayton, looking at this too, looking at the ball and where it's at and the position, you had a tackle that went low. You had a play go opposite you. So you're on that tackle for a little bit, and then you're moving to the next level. And he's also in your vision too, because now this running back really isn't threatened. There's really nobody around him based on his position and where 55 is. Well, he's kind of there. But once it's deemed that, he's not grabbing the face mask or not getting up into the horse collar area, HCT, then you can start to move over to this too.
I got you.
And then the 3 of you should be able to communicate, hey, the 4 of you, because maybe he was looking at it too, I don't know. His head was probably, I don't know where his head was.
It was a funny play because I saw the hit. It must have taken me a second or two before the flag came out. So
no, that's fine. Hey, listen, regardless of the time delay, it's okay to not be spot on. In your mind, it's a foul. It's a foul. It's a foul. And then throw. It doesn't matter the coach said it's late. Doesn't matter what the coach. How come it's as the play finished? Well, coach, because I replayed it and had all this other action, and it's still a blindside block. Good get, good position, way to continue to officiate. He's on the pylon. I would not necessarily turn your shoulders though, field judge. Keep your shoulders square with the line. Move laterally down the line so you have both eyes looking out on the field, not just one. Same thing for you, Clayton. You can start to throttle yourself down too, because you got the goal line, right? Your deeps have the goal line covered.
Right.
Yes.
Okay, Ron, let me get to you now. Hey guys, before Ron responds, I'm just gonna let this play out. And the first one to tell me what the problem is, I'll get you a bottle of alcohol. Okay? This is on you to figure out what the issue is on this particular play.
And I already tell you, number 20 is not on the line.
Okay, what else?
Looks like maybe the number of people on each side of the.
No, that was good.
Anybody see where it went out of bounds?
There was not a beanbag thrown when the ball went out of bounds, or there was. I saw the flag, but I don't think the flag was he threw it where it went out of bounds.
That's fair. Not the right answer, so we'll keep searching. I like it though. I like how you guys are thinking.
It was.
Yeah, but the 22.
Was it the 22? Yeah.
So the spot of the ball was incorrect. Was there a flag during that kickoff? Because if they're 22, that's what?
It was correct because the option is 30 yards from the kick, so that's the option.
Kicking team returning line.
Subtle clues here, guys. Subtle clues. Come on, guys.
Say the gray
Somebody
jerseys are a
in
little
the chat.
interesting.
I'll just say that somebody just had a good answer in the chat. I wish you'd speak up.
Yes.
What was the chat?
I'll say Don Roberson said, uniform pants too short, knees showing.
Oh, okay, I like that too, but we can't really, I mean, right there, that guy in blue. Blue
That guy's
lady
wearing
right
shorts.
here. That's fair. But
Uniforms, illegal numbering.
who said that? Joe Sesmo?
I said it, but somebody else said it before. They typed it in, and I saw, yes, that's correct.
But Hatch isn't allowed to answer.
Well, no, but I mean.
Yeah, hatching the young gun. Damn it, man. All
Hatch
right,
doesn't qualify for
one. Let me bust the other one for that.
Testing.
All right. Are these contrasting numbers?
No.
What makes it contrasting?
Oh,
and white?
it's got to be solid. It's got to be solid.
Blue and white's contrasting.
It's got to be white.
Outline is not contrasting.
Correct. It's got to be white.
Had they had white numbers, they would have been fine. But they weren't. So, Ron, it's all you, man.
I'll take it from here. It'll be a little lengthy, so bear with me.
By the way, I have plays 1, 2, and 3. So if you just tell me which way you want to go, I'll go ahead and go with you.
Okay. It started out when obviously my umpire and myself went to go talk to the coaches for pregame. So we go to Natalia coach, and I've noticed that they're wearing blue pants and dark gray jerseys. They're the home team. So We don't think anything of it. And by the way, they're still in their locker room. We're not on the field. This is all done in the locker rooms. So we talk to him, you know, get all of his information, and then we move on to Dilly. So as we're talking to Dilly, Leland, my umpire, starts looking around and he notices something. He doesn't mention it right then and there. So we're talking to the Dilly coach and we're getting, you know, going over our pregame with him. We leave the locker room and Leland goes, "Did you notice Dilly's uniforms?" I said, "No, I wasn't really paying attention to their uniforms. I was looking at the coach." And that's what his job is. He's the umpire. So we walked out and he says, "Well, they've got light gray pants on and dark gray jerseys with red lettering." I said, "Well, then we have a problem because we can't have two teams that have gray shirts." So we left, went back to to where the rest of the officials were. We talked about it, and I said, "We got to go to the home coach and see if he's got white jerseys or some other light colored jersey, should I say." So we go back to him, and we explain the situation to him, and he wasn't real happy about it. And the reason why is it was his homecoming, and he says he wanted to wear dark jerseys. And I said, "I understand that." I said, "Did your opponent not call you and, you know, go over what you guys were going to wear?" And he goes, "No, he didn't." So when we look at these jerseys, in my opinion, they're illegal, whether they have the white about it or not, is that they've got dark gray and a dark red number. Whether you can see them now or not is not the issue. It's when it gets dark later on and the lighting at these smaller schools is not great. So we tell the head coach, we talked to the head coach at Natalia, and I said, "You know, do you have light colored jerseys you can turn, you know, change into?" And he said, "We do." I said, "I would really appreciate if you can do that." And he said, "Well, I don't want to, but I'm going to do it." And so he did. He was graciously to do it. He had them there and he changed. So it's his homecoming. We haven't even got on the field yet, and we've already got a problem, you know? And so the problem is the jersey issue. So we go back to our locker room, we start changing, and then we go out on the field. Well, we're in the locker room. The discussion is, in my opinion, and the crew is that Dilly's jerseys are illegal. I mean, in my opinion, if you look at the rule book, I believe, in my opinion, they're illegal. And maybe that's all they've got. I don't know what they have. Someone else told me in the locker room that their other jerseys are dark red, and I have no idea what color numerals they are. Don't let the white outline make that okay. It's not. So, and we get onto the field. Obviously, the home coach, you know, he wanted to dig further into this. So he got into his rule book. And when we were in the locker room, we knew what the rule was too. We looked it up. And that rule is that if they're wearing, in our opinion, illegal jerseys, then at the start of each quarter, or start of each half, it's an unsportsmanlike penalty, and they're going to get assessed 15 yards and a timeout, you know, every quarter. So, you know, do you want to do this to a team? No. But at the end of the day, they're not dressed right, you know, and they are. And so the other guy, of course, Natalia, changed his jersey. We go out there, we explain the situation to the Dilly coach. And we explain the situation to the Dilly coach. And by that time, the Natalia coach had already looked it up in his rule book, and he said, "Well, you're going to charge them, right? Because they've got it." And I said, "Yes, sir, we are." So that's how it went. And what's that? The only thing we did not do is we didn't want to add insult to injury, and that's where I pulled the referee trump card, and that is the referee can deem any rule or any enforcement that he deems possible, you know, or that he, you know, feels is appropriate. So I don't remember what the score was at halftime. Robert and Thaddeus might. It was in the 40s to nothing. Is that correct, guys?
Yeah, it was a lot.
47-8.
47-8?
Yep.
Yeah.
So at that point, you know, we already, I mean, Dilly's getting, you know, they're getting beat up pretty good. They've had a lot of penalties. They're not disciplined. We've had several false starts, several delay of games. They're just not, you know, the match for Natalia. So I took it upon myself not to enforce it in the second half. Didn't say anything to anybody. No one said anything about it. And that's where we are. So it's open for discussion. And the last thing I want to say is when you go to a game site, expect the unexpected. Now, if you guys think that those jerseys are fine, then that's up for discussion. But I don't think they are. You've got dark on dark, and the other team had blue pants and dark gray jerseys also, which would have created a problem.
So Ron, I'm freaking out a little bit because I had Dilly the first week of the season. So I'm going back and checking the film. They actually had their maroon jerseys on the first game. So they were maroon with white. So I hadn't seen these jerseys before.
Were they the home team?
They were, yes.
That doesn't matter then. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. I mean, I don't understand how they could be a visitor and show up with jerseys like this. And I'm not sure. Obviously, this has happened before and nobody said anything. You know, I have to do, in my opinion, the right thing. I mean, we don't know, you know, who's observing us. We have no idea if the chapter sent an observer. We don't know anything. All I know is it didn't look right, and it wasn't.
Hey, Ron, so you're saying if you're the home team, you can wear those jerseys, but if you're the visitors, you cannot?
What I'm saying is the visitors are not supposed to wear dark jerseys. The home team wears dark. The visitors wear light. That's why they normally have two sets of jerseys. So I'm not sure where Dilly's color scheme came in or who sold them the jerseys, you know, and sold them two dark sets of jerseys. Because Ken is right. Someone mentioned that their other jerseys are dark red. These are dark gray with dark red lettering.
But what I'm trying to
feedback,
even though their whole team, the number with the white outline still makes it an illegal number, correct? Rather if you're home or not.
That's correct. Yes. Because if you go to, you're not going to, honestly, if, you know, when you go to a larger school, the 5As or 6As, you're not going to see this. I mean, it's just, they know what they've got to do. The home is always dark. The visitors is always light. But in the country, it might be a different scenario, obviously, you know, and Grady's comment is right. It can be white or a light color, which I mentioned, you know. Gray is fine on the road, but the home team's wearing gray also. So even if the home team wore dark blue, we'd still have a problem. You know what I mean? So, you know, we're dealing with a situation that, you know, did we want to do that? No. Is it the right thing to do? We have to enforce the penalty. It's in the rule book. We have to enforce that. You know, thank God we were at Natalia and their locker room is right there where they could change into a light colored jersey. Are we not going to have the game because Natalia did not have a light colored jersey? No, we're going to continue to play. There's, you know, we're not going to stop that. But when you got all these guys running around and they all got the same colored jersey on, and, you know, and again, you know, the smaller schools, the stadium lighting's not the best. And, you know, we don't want to have a problem, you know.
Thank you, Ron. Anybody else
Hey, Ron?
to add to that? Are we good with there?
Yeah, Ron, can I interject something? I think what you
Yeah, I
did,
just want to add,
Go ahead, Ron.
what's that, Rudy?
go ahead. I finish your
No,
comment.
go ahead, Rudy.
Yeah, I just want to interject it.
Well, the only other,
Go ahead, Ron.
No, the only other thing I want to say is that, thank goodness this game was lopsided, because those particular penalties could really obviously have an effect in this game. And I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to give kudos to Robert Bailly. We did not know Robert was there. He was our observer that night. He came in at halftime, and he was of the presence enough to realize, he goes, I saw you give an unsportsmanlike penalty and then a timeout. And he goes, what was that for? And I said, because of the jersey. He goes, I thought that's what it was for. So here, kudos to Robert, because he picked up on that, and we didn't know he was even there. So we appreciate, your comment on that, Robert. Rudy, go ahead, please.
Yeah, I just want to interject one thing. Ron, I think you handled it correctly. The jersey issue was grandfathered. It was a UIL extension to NCAA for several years, most particularly for these smaller schools with lesser budgets, et cetera, et cetera. But that grandfather ended, I believe it was this year. And so there was zero tolerance for wearing these kind of jerseys. The other comment I want to make is that their head coach got laid off for whatever reason and replaced by an interim coach. I'm not sure he's fully the formal head coach of Dilly. Ken, do you know if he's the formal head coach? You worked their game before, I'm just wondering. But that's beside the point. The point is that I'm sort of making excuses for the coach, if you will. Maybe he's ignorant of the fact. I don't know. The bottom line is that I think you ruled correctly. The second half, I would have to be there to decide. I don't know if my crew would have allowed me to do that, but of course you did it oblivious to your crew in the second half with enforcing additional penalties and timeouts. I don't know what I would have done. The final question I have for you, Ron, regarding this game was, did you file a UIL report?
I did.
Good.
Yeah, I filed a UIL report on it, in fact, in very, very detail.
Good.
And at the same time, I wanted to give kudos to the home coach for being, very agreeable, because he didn't have to be. I mean, he could have said, nope, I'm not doing that. And there was nothing we could have done about it. I realize in the rule book, if, it does state the home team must change to a light colored jersey, but he could have said, well, we don't have them here. They're in the wash. I mean, he could have said anything he wanted to at that point, but he didn't. I mean, he took it on the chin, and I gave him the kudos for that in the report. And to your comment, Rudy, we did realize that the head coach of Dilly did not seem to be, and I don't know how to say it, very first on football. I mean, he just
wasn't very astute,
like a fish out of water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I sort of glanced at your penalty report, and I couldn't figure out why you had an unsportsmanlike conduct on the coach at the very first play. Now I understand.
Yeah.
So speaking of this game too, and this is a good point for the referees in the group, all of you actually, make sure your referee or somebody contacts the game site administrator before the game to make sure if you have a clock operator and a 40-second clock operator.
Good point.
The only reason why Ron and those guys ended up knowing I was there was because they didn't have a 40-second clock operator. The game started. Nobody knew what was going on. They sent one kid up. He runs in there, and he says, what am I doing? They said, well, you're running the 40-second clock. And his answer was, what the hell is that? So they send another kid up, and he looks at the clock, and he says, I don't know how to run this thing. So I had to get up and move over to the clock to run the 40-second clock for the game. So just make sure that somebody in your crew is contacting the site administration, that you have everybody you need. Chains, clock operators, everybody. If arbiter says you have a game clock operator, make sure you don't need a 40-second clock operator too.
Yeah, that's a good point, Robert, because we brought that up to Natalia's coach at our pregame. We said, we have a timer. You have a 40-second clock operator, correct? And he said, no, I thought y'all had one. And I'm like, oh, great. So, again, for the first game of the season for our crew, we had a lot of bumps in the road. We really did right off the bat. And Robert admirably stepped in for us. We were going to keep it on the field because right off the bat, we knew the clock wasn't working. It wasn't even moving. The play clock. So, that's an excellent point, Robert.
Just so that, there was a couple questions about spot and foul and where the enforcement for the kick out of bounds. This particular play, they chose 30 yards from where they kicked. And that's one of the options that you can have. Okay? So if it went out at the 23, well, I don't think they're going to take out of bounds +5. They wanted the football, so they didn't want to re-kick. So they took the ball 30 yards from where they kicked, which is the 30. And then Ron ultimately enforced the penalty. You can see here where Leland has the ball there at the 30. They called the UNS on the sideline. Did you put that on the head coach directly, or did you put it on the sideline, Ron?
What's that?
Did you put the UNS on the head coach, or did you put it on the sideline?
I believe we put it on the head coach.
Okay. So then it's at the 30.
And then Leland picks the ball. Leland picks the ball up and moves it back to the 15. I'm sorry?
Because we're outside the 27, so we have the opportunity for a full markup.
Yeah, he moved it from the 30 down to the 15 at that point. As you can see where the chains were reset, there's the ball at the 15. Yeah.
Well, that ends our show for today. There's the 15. Kudos to Matt for working some really nice back judge mechanics. Good job, David, for sending plays in to talk about blindside blocks and targeting. Ron, thanks for working through this. I know some of our referees today may or may not have worked with that, but I know that they're going to now going forward with those umpires. They're going to make sure they check their uniforms. So with that, if there's any other questions, please feel free to stay on, ask your questions. If not, we'll see you at the general meeting. Thanks for attending.
Eric, I got a question for you, brother.
Okay, Jimmy, hold on one second. Let these guys go, and then we'll help you answer it.
Yes, sir.
I think everybody wants to hear the question.
All right, go ahead, Jimmy. Ask
No,
the
it's just
questions.
about the scrimmage, actually, for the young guns. I haven't worked this year, man, and I need to work some scrimmage. So I just wanted to know, you had mentioned it earlier. When is that scrimmage going to be, you said, for the young guns?
It's Saturday the 26th, 9
Okay.
a.m.
9 a.m. And where?
Stadium.
Paris? All
Yes,
right. That's good to know, man. I'll be there then for sure. I just wanted to make sure to know where it's going to be at. So give me some reps, man, and just go meet with you guys.
Yeah, hold on one second, Jimmy.
Yeah,
Let me,
it's important to get reps. Ask Tom Brady.
Yeah. He looked terrible yesterday. Oh, my God. Did you see how bad he looked? Oh, man.
Hey,
I love him.
Jimmy,
Yes, sir.
you see this website that I'm sharing with you right here?
Yeah. For that's on. It's on YouTube. You said, right?
No, it's just a
Oh.
website. It's our Young Gun website. It's bit.ly @SA-YG. And
Okay, I'll go on there right now. I'll go onto that website right now, man.
If it has the old scrimmage on it, bear with us. But yeah, just go ahead and we're trying to update that the best we can.
All right, that'll work, man. I'll get on there right now. Thank you. Appreciate it, brother.
Any other
All right.
questions, guys? All righty. Have a good one.